Alright. On Friday, we had Division 1 at Las Vegas, and most of us know that Marco won that championship. But I've been asked to do yet another race this week, and it's Prestige, and yet again we have Las Vegas. And so, yeah, should be pretty interesting for me at least, since it's it is again Las Vegas, and we even have a sprint at Las Vegas. 9 laps and then 25 laps of racing, or 26 or so. Yeah, SQ1 has started, but in the meantime, in the SQ, I will talk about the championship, since it is as well pretty close. From in Brazil, McCluskey did an absolute masterclass, and he got almost maximum amount of points in Brazil, whilst Marco had a absolute nightmare around there. And now McCluskey is only 5 points behind Marco going into the penultimate round of the season, which it is Las Vegas, with a sprint as well. So extra points are awarded here as well. Marco first with 170 points, McCluskey second with 65 points. And yeah, those are even the only ones that can even fight for top 2 for that second place, because Steps and DJ and Tig all have 109. Well, Steps, DJ have 109, and then Tig has 108. So they are already too far back to even try and get Lassie for that second place. So it's only Marco and Lassie that mathematically can even fight for that P1. 6th is Tom, 7th is Shaz, 77 points, Tom 87, Ollie 67, Jakey 63, Ozan 54, Olaf 48, Niklas 35, Firefist 32, Mancon 27, Alfie 23, TN MR 18, Ibrahim 16, Walshy 12, Ruggy 10, and Martin in last place with only 6 points. And in the meantime, we have Ibrahim on a flying lap on the mediums, but I'll be looking at the constructors now, since it's only 9 points between the three different constructors. It is Mercedes 226 points, Ferrari 220 points, and Red Bull 217 points. So it is heat in the constructors as well. In the penultimate round of the season, Haas still somewhat close to Red Bull, 178 points, Alpine 5th, 149, Racing Bulls in 6th with 130, Williams 7th, 126, Sauber 8th with 102 points, McLaren 9th, 91 points, and Aston Martin 10th with 84 points. And those are the championships at the moment. Ibrahim on his flying lap at the moment on the Las Vegas Strip. Behind him it's Pimeralda on a flying as well, but we'll go with Ibrahim since he's the first one on a flying lap through turn 14, 15, 16 a bit. As well a wall on the exit of turn 16, but as well turn 15 was a bit slidey. But Ibrahim is going to cross the line to go, obviously, P1, 131.440. Pimeralda behind isn't going to cross the line. Ruggy, in the meantime, goes first, 31.077. But Pimeralda doesn't set a time. He invalidated his time. In the meantime, Tsunami goes fastest, 130.923. Of course, the pole position time from Division 1 was about 130 No, 129.7, but that was as well Marco getting slipstream from Olaf. Yellow's behind, that's a Mercedes, that is Marco going slow. He has as well no fuel, almost, to finish his time. Niklas at the moment is in P2, 31.076, 1,000 of a second in front of Rogge. His brother and teammate Tom is in 4th, 31.305. Hudson in 5th, 31.407. DJ Dragon is in 8th at the moment, 32.821, so probably a mistake on his lap as well. Steps only 7th, 31.685. Then we have a Williams of, is that TNRM, and he's gonna cross the line to go P2, 31.002, and then it's Martin starting his lap. Then the two Kicksaubers, no, they're not in slipstreaming since they already did their times. Rogge not on a flyer. Behind them there is Shaz, who is starting his lap. Then it is going to be Marco going into the pit since he doesn't have enough fuel. It is McCloskey, the championship contender, one of the two championship contenders for this season, and on the Las Vegas Strip he is just exiting that. We're going into the chicane 14, 15, 16, and then it's just gonna be a run to the final corner, and then quickly a finish line, which it is gonna be now. And McCloskey goes fastest at 10th, faster than Tsunami, 130.822. Very good lap by Lassie. 5 minutes 20 seconds to go. Of course, the sprint is going to be important as well for the championship, since if McCloskey gets P1 and Marco doesn't score any points, or is going to be in P7, then McCloskey is going to lead the championship by roughly a point. 1 point. That is going to be Martin. In the meantime, goes P9, 31.535. Pimarada on a flying, but we have Shaz as well on a flying, 54.999. I believe that is faster than what Lassie did on his medium time, I believe. But we're going to find out, is he going to go faster than McCloskey through the finish line? And yes, he does go fastest, 130.763 by Shaz. Haas going into the pit behind. Then it's Rob on the Las Vegas Strip. Is going to be starting his lap. Then it is McCloskey on an in lap, and then it's going to be Pimarada on his flying lap, 26.068 to the first sector. Second sector 55.184. So at the moment he is roughly going 2/10 slower than Shaz. Pimarada is not a contender for the championship at the moment. I don't think I even saw him in the standings, so he's probably just a reserve. And those standings don't count reserves in there. Pimarada going into the final chicane. Good. I was about to say good, but bit of an oversteer, and he does go into the pits yet again. I guess he is not happy with that time. He just doesn't want to finish the lap. Rob on a flying 26.172. Bit of sliding from the rear through the middle sector through turn 6, 7, and 8. 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Rob through turn on the exit of turn 12. He's not even using the ZRS that much. 55.604. But he still has plenty of ERS. Now he is using it on the main straight. Well, that ain't good, Dragon. I mean, that ain't good. That ain't good. What wings do you even have if you have a wrong setup? If you have a wrong setup, then, I mean, you won't be able to tell anymore. But still, what wings are you then running? I'm interested. What wings are you running if you have a wrong setup on? Hopefully it's not like it isn't anything for a different track, like Mexico. Or something like that. Oh! Oi, 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 oi. 50-44. If you would have Oi, 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 oi. 50-44. Man, you're cooked. You are cooked. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't blame you. If you have a wrong setup and it's a 50-44, then I wouldn't blame you, honestly. I would not blame you at all. I would have the same reaction. 50-44, I mean, that's just... Oh my god. Honestly, at that point, you can just rage quit, you can just leave the session, because you ain't doing it. You ain't doing anything, honestly. Like, on the straights, you are dead. Like, you are getting passed by everyone. Everyone. TNRM on a flying. In front of him, he has a McLaren. What is the McLaren doing? Just weaving down a straight, like, he's not there. The same with an Aston Martin, almost. The same thing. Yeah, honestly, that's your only hope. That is your only hope. And his teammate, McCluskey impedes his own teammate. What is going on? McCluskey impedes his own teammate going into the chicane. TNRM had like 3 drivers impeding him. And the Aston Martin was a bit a distraction more, but still. First a McLaren, that was Martin. Then it was an Aston, which was Rogge. And then it was McCluskey, his teammate, who impeded him. That's just unlucky on a different... That was so unlucky for TNRM. And that could cost him actually Q3. That could Q1. That could actually cost him Q1. Steps goes 7, 31, 1, 2, 7. Then in the back we have a Alpine, that is Tom, finishing his time, and he goes P1, 30.688. A very good time by the Alpine. Then we have Womack finishing his time. It's not going to be a great one, probably. No, it isn't. 33.095. Even behind Dragon, who is running a dog shit setup. Pimarada on a flying lap is about to finish it on the exit of the chicane. I just want to see what Nicholas is doing. I can't see it, so let's go back to Pimarada. Pimarada should go fastest, 54.778, and he does go fastest a lot, 130.300. Nicholas goes P2, 130.590, and then we have plenty of drivers. Rogge goes P2, 130.5. Tig goes 5th. Martin stays 13th. McCluskey goes fastest, 130.241. Hudson in P11. Tsunami. Marco goes P1, 130.221. Tsunami P4, 130.440. Then Ibrahim, where is he gonna go? He's gonna go P10, 130.856. Shaz goes 7th, 130.649. And then his teammate Rob is still there, yet to finish his time. And Rob should be easily in. Yes, he's gonna be easily in P7. Luckily for TNRM, that impediment of his own teammate did not mean that he's out of Q1. He's down in 12th. But still. No, wait, that's just overall short quality. Okay, so I mean, okay. It is Marco on pole position. I don't know why I was going from the game graphic SQ1. Anyways, Marco is on pole position for the sprint. McCluskey P2, Pimarada P3, a Spanish 2 and 3. And now we go into the sprint race. That actually did cost him the time, the lap. I don't know why did I think that was full quali. SQ1, SQ2, SQ3. Don't know why. But yeah, anyways. There was the grid. And anyway, just wait for the 5 red lights. But before that, we're gonna have probably a formation lap. Well, he just about managed to get in, although to be fair, he's not gonna be able to take a car. He might be able to take a car for the qualifying, for the main qualifying, but maybe not for the sprint. Came just outside, or just after the quali concluded. Although to be fair, it's probably better that he joined after the sprint quali concluded, since then he would have been running a default setup, which probably would have been still better than a 50-44 around this track. And we do have a formation lap, and then let's look at the tires for everyone. AlphaTauris. The 2 V-Carbs, then Tom, then Tig. Okay, then it just decided that Dragon's messages are going to be doubled. Tig rounds off the top 10, and then it's Ibrahim, TNRM, Steps, Hudson, Martin, Jamero, Dragon, Wumax, and Nathan. Dragon is going to have a great launch of the start, since he has high downforce, and as well through the first 3 corners he's going to be good. Then through the second sector, the beginning of the second sector, he's going to be fine, but then after that, the third sector is going to be painful for him. The whole 9 laps as we go into the grid slots. Some drivers are going to be a bit sideways, like that, like Tig. They're going to have to make their positions a little bit easier so that they don't have to get away from their grid slots, and as well turn for the corner. Everyone in their positions, yes they are, and then we're gonna go to 5 red lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and lights out now, and away we go here in the Las Vegas Sprint. Lassi gets a very good start. He gets a very good start off the line and already jumps Marco into turn 1. What a start from Lassi. Pimerada as well trying to pressurize Marco around the outside of turn 3. Is he going to be able to do that? It looks like yellow's behind, but no one seems to be spawned. Pimerada is still in front of Marco. Pimerada on the inside, Marco on the outside. And it is a Spanish 1 and 2 here in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, behind 4 wide on the exit of turn 4. TNRM dropping places down to P17. He doesn't have any sort of fronting damage, but he spins round into turn 6. And he is down in P19. Unfortunately, Shaz has as well lost many places. Rob as well down in P2 of the 2 V-Corps. Absolutely horrible start to the race. Marco has overtaken Pimerada, but he's 8 tenths, almost 9 tenths behind McCluskey. So it's looking very good for McCluskey at the moment in the sprint on lap 1. He of course will want to get away from Marco, and as well will hope that Pimerada is helping him for that championship. Pimerada of course will remember what's happened on Friday and is going to help his countrymen by Marco going a bit off the racing line, and he's going to lose a little bit of time like that. The gap is almost a second. Jameros retires on the exit of the chicane. No safety cars though. Pimerada and Marco go side by side into turn 1, and Pimerada is in front, but he goes a bit deep into turn 2 and 3. TNRM is probably going to retire as well, but Marco and Pimerada still side by side. None of them have the DRS. Actually, as a matter of fact, Tsunami has the DRS, but he won't be able to do anything with that. He doesn't want to cause a 3 wide going into turn 4. And Pimerada is in front of Marco. This is, of course, lovely for McCluskey, since the car behind doesn't have the DRS, and it's a whole ass mayhem behind. Rogge is trying to take Tsunami through that twisty bit. Tom as well is fighting Ibrahim. He's in front of Ibrahim as well. And yeah, this is lovely for McCluskey. Marco is actually getting overtaken by Tsunami as well, going into turn 12 as there's contact between the Ferrari. That's Tig and Niklas. On the exit of turn 12, Tig didn't leave Niklas enough space and there was contact. Niklas, front wing damage, Tig down to P11. Meanwhile, behind him, McCluskey in front is just chilling. Behind though, it's whole ass mayhem. Steps up into P6 from P11. He was P11 before turn 12 and now he's up into P6. What has this man done? And the same with Rob. He was down the grid like P12 as well and he's up into P7. What has happened to these two? All of a sudden they have gained massive amount of places. Ibrahim and Hudson are going side by side. And Ibrahim is in front. Yellows behind. That is Martin who is causing yellows. Probably just lost it. But yeah, the Las Vegas is yet again proving how chaotic it can be with all of its DRS points and all that. Niklas retires in the pits understandably since, well, there probably isn't going to be a safety car at this rate. The kick-saver of Hudson tried to go for an overtake. Tried to... Oh, car sex between Tig and Nathan. Maybe? No. They have stopped. Okay, I guess Nathan and Tig had to release their freakiness a little bit off from themselves, I guess. It seems like. But okay, we're good. Pimrada is probably gonna get overtaken by Marco as he has the DRS, and Marco is gonna get an easy overtake. Rocky probably isn't gonna go for it since Pimrada is his teammate, and of course, even if that's your teammate that is reserving for that team isn't actually your teammate, you still want you still generally don't want to fight with your teammate. You actually want to respect your teammate. But Pimrada is trying to go for it on the attack on Marco through the final corner and into turn 1 on the inside. Is he going to be able to do it on the inside? Marco's going to have now the inside, but he won't have the inside into turn 3. Pimrada is still in front of Marco. Rocky is still behind Marco. And yeah, Pimrada still doing a very lovely race for himself and as well for McCluskey. 3-second gap. This is what McCluskey needs. A 3-second gap and a 2-point gap as well to at the moment the points gap in the championship would go down to 3 points between Marco and McCluskey. So if Marco would really want to win this championship here, then he would need to pray for McCluskey retiring from the race and himself winning the Grand Prix, which with these massive straights in here it's very hard. It's like NASCAR sort of thing, where just all the time on the straight and all that. Marco, is he gonna make it the move on Pimrada? It seems like he is gonna make the move as well. Maybe Pimrada wanted to let Marco through as Tsunami and Rocky. Rocky is forced into the wall. They had a little bit of contact as well. That contact model, gains contact model, forced them a little bit to the right, to the wall. And Tsunami is up to P4. Rocky is just about in front of Rob. Rob, by the way, up to P6 as well. Very nice from him. Tig trying to overtake, steps around the inside of turn 1 and 2. And on the inside of turn 3, he's going to be able to probably make it. But he's still there. The steps was still there on the outside. Tig didn't leave him enough space. And plenty of carbon fiber on track. That was as well Ibrahim involved in that. Just a bystander in the fronting damage for him. Not massive fronting damage. But, okay, it is massive fronting damage. But still... oh, and there goes Nathan as well on the exit of turn 7. Fronting damage for him as well. That was the fronting damage that I thought Ibrahim had, but Ibrahim has a lot worse. For Tig and Steps, Steps seems like he doesn't have that big of fronting damage. No, it doesn't, but it's race ruined anyways. Meanwhile, up front, Marco and Pimerada have closed the gap on McCluskey. It's only 1.8 seconds, so McCluskey will need to worry a bit from behind. Meanwhile, behind them, Rocky is overtaking Tsunami, and Hudson has overtaken Rob into turn number 14. So one Kicksubber gains a place, one Kicksubber loses a place. Dragon enemy, meantime, just about overtakes Martin into turn 14, 15, 16. Doesn't get a good exit, and now it's Martin having a better straight line speed. I mean, Dragon can't do anything with that 50-44 setup. He's just gonna naturally lose straight line speed, and Dragon is still behind of Ibrahim, of Martin. In the meantime, Ibrahim is trying to get in front of Tom. He's gonna have a bit better straight line speed since he has that fronting damage, and the fronting damage actually does something, or at least the rear wing damage does something on the straights, but it does a fronting damage. I have no clue, but Tom is trying to make it around the outside of turn 6 and 7, and he did make it around the outside. What a lovely move by Tom. Just has less fronting damage than Ibrahim, and as well Shaz is trying to overtake Ibrahim now around the outside of turn 10 on the inside into turn 11. He's going to be able to do it very nicely, and he's going to have a DRS on Tom, and hopefully for himself he's going to overtake Tom on this Las Vegas straight, which should be very easy for him. Yeah, he's almost overtaken him on this part where there's still no DRS. Actually, the DRS detection zone just passed there. Meanwhile, in front, Tsunami overtakes Roggy, and Roggy as well gets overtaken by Hudson. So the two Kicksubbers they went a bit close there. That was a bit close between the two Saubers. A bit too close for comfort. Roggy is trying to overtake one of the Saubers around side. That would be Tsunami. Into turn 1, a bit of contact there between them. Still side by side into turn 3. He's still there on the inside. A bit close, a bit too close there now. Roggy is still behind Tsunami after all those contacts. Rob is behind, looking for a possibility of an overtake, but he just doesn't have any space. Roggy is right behind Tsunami. He wants to overtake him, but he just can't do it anywhere at the moment. Meanwhile, behind an update, Shaz did overtake Tom, and as well Ibrahim did overtake Tom. So Tom lost 2 positions in one straight, which was expected, honestly. Pimerada is still behind Marco, but he's just saving that ERS, but Marco has a bit less of that ERS. So Pimerada, in terms of ERS, he is fine at the moment. He is doing very well. But he's not gonna go for the attack on Marco at all. Meanwhile, behind, Shaz has lost 2 positions just like that. But he's gonna have the DRS now. And is he gonna be able to re-overtake them? Yes, he will be able to re-overtake them down to P10, and now he's up to P8. Probably DRS chicken there was made from Shaz, but Shaz is back in front of both of them, and this time Tom is in front of Ibrahim as well, so that's good for Tom. He doesn't have to stay behind of the, well, faulty car of McLaren. I'm talking about front wing. Meanwhile, in front, Rob has overtaken Roggy for P5, and Tsunami has lost 2 positions to Rob and Roggy, so he's down to P7. Does he even have fronting damage? I feel like he has. No, he doesn't. I thought Tsunami had fronting damage. But yeah. Hudson, 7/10 gap behind. He's trying to build that gap, trying to get away from Rob, but as went, the gap has gone down to 6.5 seconds, 6.5 tenths, gone down to 6 tenths, as Rob has a little bit of that slipstream, and just isn't able to get away from Rob. Rob does get a slight bit of a worse exit. Roggy is trying to already overtake Rob before the DRS detection zone even, but he's even gonna get the DRS since Hudson is in front of them, and Rob is gonna be able to or Ruggie, is he gonna be able to overtake Hudson into turn number 14? No, he won't be able. Rob doesn't. There was Ruggie went into the back of Hudson. That seemed like. But Hudson is still in P4, Ruggie P5, Rob 6th, and Tsunami 7th. Behind, Ibrahim is literally bump drafting Shaz in front of him, trying to get him a move on. Shaz will have a better car through the corners, but it looks like Shaz isn't even able to overtake Ibrahim through turn 4, and neither of them have the DRS. Tom will be able to overtake Shaz into turn 4, and he's in front of Shaz. So Ibrahim P8, Tom P9, and Shaz in P10. But now we'll be going to these two. Both of these have 100% of ERS. The only difference will be when they will use that ERS, and as well the DRS as well for Marco. I mean, of course, the DRS detection zone is only coming up now. Both of them are using their ERS. Pimerada a bit more on this part of the straight. Marco is not using that much of it. He knows that he has a DRS, but he won't be able to overtake Pimerada yet. But for the next part of the third sector, for the next straight, he has more ERS. Pimerada loses it a bit. McCluskey is gonna win the sprint race, but I just want to see these two going side by side into the finish line. Marco on the outside with more ERS, bit of contact to the finish line, but Marco does manage to get that P2 from Pimerada on the finish line. Alfie just about manages to keep himself in front of Rob. 13 thousandths between them. Ruggie P6, Tsunami P4 as well. 46 thousandths between Ruggie and Tsunami. Then Ibrahim just about manages to keep himself in front of Shaz, and then Tom rounds off the top 10, and Ibrahim rounds off the point scoring places. Hudson apparently gets the driver of the day. Probably deserved. Let me just check the... Yeah, deserved. From 14th to 4th. Definitely deserved. Lassi gains 1 point on Marco, so the gap goes down from 5 points all the way down to 4 points. Pimerada, of course, tried his best for his countrymen to gain as much points to Marco as possible, but still did a very good job of keeping himself in front of Marco. Hudson P4, and yeah, that was the sprint. And now we go into the short qualifying. 18 minutes of qualifying, and then it's gonna be 26 laps of racing. Or is it 27? Probably 27 since 9, then yeah, probably 27 actually. So yeah, anyways, Q1, or I should say SQ1, or not even SQ1, SQ has started. And yeah, for the championship, honestly, Marco can win the championship, but he, like I said, he needs to pray for McCluskey to retire from the race, and then he would need to win the race, which he already saw that then he's gonna have Pimerada right behind him, and it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy whatsoever to win the race. So yeah, Shaz, the first driver to come out of the pits. Then it's Nathan, and then it is Tig. Shaz on the mediums, Tig as well on the mediums, Nathan on the softs. Then we have a Sauber, and then a McLaren. That is Tsunami out on softs. Then we have Ibrahim out on mediums, and then we have the two Alpines of both Tom and Niklas, brothers. Both of them on the softs. Then we have an Aston Martin of Rogge. Then the other McLaren of Martin. Then a Mercedes, the other Mercedes, and then as well a Red Bull. That is gonna be, oh no, actually that was a Kicksauber. That is Hudson and Steps, and then no one yet. Oh no, that there's a Williams coming out of the pits, and that's TNRM who has joined back into the session after rage quitting from the session. To be fair, understandably at first, but he probably decided that, oh yeah, there is still the main race to race, so I should get back on. I mean, at least those things happen in the sprint race part of the weekend. Hopefully they won't happen in the actual main race part. Shaz is going to be the first one to start the laps, but Tig is going to have a lovely slipstream throughout this lap, unless Shaz decides to invalidate and then immediately let Tig through. But Shaz is on his lap, but as well, for Tig, this can backfire since he might be as well a bit too close to Shaz, and then maybe Shaz does a mistake, loses a bit too much time, and actually Tig is gonna lose time from this tactic. Both of them on the mediums as well. Shaz first sector 25.993. Tig probably naturally is gonna be the faster one. Steps goes a bit wide on the escape road through turn 14. But yeah, probably Tig is probably the fastest one through the first sector if we compare Shaz and Tig. Through turn 10, 11 and into turn number 12. And then into the Las Vegas Strip. Shaz does invalidate his time, so he's immediately lets Tig through. Tig, of course, gained a bit of time, but he did as well invalidate. Both Tig and Shaz invalidated their times. So, all that slipstreaming meant absolutely nothing. And then right behind them is Tsunami, who is taking the advantage of the slipstream from Tig at the moment. He might get as well more of that slipstream on this straight, which he does get. Quite a... not much, but still somewhat of that slipstream. And Tsunami is going to cross the line with a 1:30.850, goes fastest, of course. Then behind we have Ibrahim, who is going to cross the line with mediums, and Ibrahim is going to go P2 1:35.562. Then an Alpine of one or the two twin brothers, and that's Niklas with 1:30.753, fastest out of them all at the moment. Rocky goes third, 1:30.958 on the mediums. Nathan fifth, 1:32.531. Martin goes fifth, 31.756. Then we have a Aston Martin of Pimarola starting his lap. Then the other Kicksauber going into the pits, and then we have Steps crossing the line, and he goes sixth on the softs, 31.810. And then we have TNRM, who goes fastest out of everyone at the moment, who have set their times 1:30.585, and that's 1.5 tenths faster than Niklas, so it was worth it to come back to the session. Meanwhile, Marco is finishing his time, and he goes second, 1:30.585, the exact identical time to TNRM, to the 1,000th of a second. Marco is faster than TNRM, but of course Marco has set his time on the mediums compared to TNRM, who has that time on the softs. So of course Marco can naturally gain that at least 1,000th of a second just from the tires alone. Tsunami, ooh, Tsunami out. Did he miss the pits? He missed the pits. It seems like he missed the pits, or was it something to do with Ibrahim? Maybe Ibrahim punching him off. Something has happened to Tsunami, but only thing that we know is Tsunami is out of qualifying, stuck with 130.850. In the meantime, Pimeralda goes fast as 130.514 on the softs. Then we have a Williams of TNRM going into the pits. Then we have Womax starting his lap. Then we have Marco probably just on the in lap. Yes, he is on the in lap. Then do we even have anyone on a flying lap? No, we don't. Okay, now we have Womax on a flying lap. Then a long way back, it's gonna be Tig, who is gonna be starting his lap, and then it's gonna be Hudson starting his lap. But they are still, both of them still have the Las Vegas Strip to go. Let's go to Womax. What's his first sector gonna be? The main goal is gonna be not to be lost. 26.436 by Womax. A pretty decent first sector, but to be fair, that first sector is only like, well, to be fair, it's not like, it's not one corner, it's like 3 corners. But anyways, Womax at the moment, not a bad lap at the moment for him. It isn't a bad lap for him, as well, to his skill compared to. Into turn 12 now, missing that curve, but that's just preference for him. 56.285. Pretty decent second sector as well. Hopefully he's gonna be in front of Nathan. Through the Las Vegas Strip now. DRS open now. Not that much of ERS for him left in the tank, so he's gonna lose out a bit through this final straight. Through the chicane as well, not bad for Womax. And now to this final straight, using all of his ERS that he has, which it isn't much. At Womax, where is he gonna go? He's gonna go P11 130.609 and last behind Nathan, unfortunately. Tom is gonna be starting his lap. Let's go with Tig, who has invalidated once again. He has invalidated once again. Hudson is on a good lap, 55.086, so he's on a very good lap at the moment. Hopefully it's going to be better than P14 for him, compared to especially the fact that he got P4 in the sprint race, so that's a very good start to the weekend, or to the race weekend, through the chicanes as well, very nicely by Hudson. And then to the finish line, through the final corner, and Hudson, where is he gonna go? He's gonna go P5 130.753, the exact same time as well that Niklas did. 0.753 to the 1,000 of a second, the exact same time. In the meantime, Dragon starts his lap, and then it's gonna be Steps. But we have TNRM and Marco on the same exact times with P2 and P3, and then we have Niklas and Hudson on P4 and P5 with the exact same times as well. I mean, that's quite impressive by them two. Nathan is going to be starting his lap now. Behind him there's a Williams of Lossie starting his lap. Then it's Womax going into the pits. Then we have the two McLaren starting their laps. Then we have Tom actually on a flying. I swear to God, I just said that he started a flying lap, but I guess he's already finishing his flying lap. Tom through the finish line, he goes P8 to 131.129 for Tom, so it's not a bad lap for Tom, at least for now. Then an Aston Martin crossing the line, that is going to be Roggy starting his lap. Then the two V-Carps of Rob and Shaz. Shaz is finishing his time. Actually not, he's probably giving Slipstream. He would have been at 31.639, but he did invalidate that lap. He's probably just trying to give Rob Slipstream to start his lap. Pimeralda as well has started his lap. Then we have Hudson going into the pits. Then we have Dragon on his flying lap. 55.775 for Dragon. Of course, he is driving a bit of a bad setup, and he goes P9 31.429 for Dragon. Honestly, it's not a bad time for him. compared to the fact that he's in a very fucked up setup. Steps only 11th, 31.648. Then we have that's Lassie on a flying lap. Can he go provisional pole position in here? And yes, he can. 130.201 by McCluskey. Goes provisional pole position. But we still have Pimerada and Marco on their flying laps. Marco is improving on his time. Pimerada is improving on his time. Yes, he is by a tenth. I think I saw Marco improving by 2/10. Ibrahim goes 7th, 130.792. Then his teammate Martin, where is he gonna go? He's gonna go into the pits. Ruggy, where is Ruggy gonna go? He didn't invalidate. Ruggy is gonna go P3, 130.549. Very good time by Ruggy. Then Rob, where is he gonna finish his time? 6th, 130.674. Then Pimerada invalidated his time. In front of him it's Tick who is finishing his time. But Pimerada invalidating his time. Not a good one from Pimerada. Marco only almost half a second up on his time through the second sector. Almost invalidates through turn 15. And now just a rundown to the finish line. And then it's gonna be final corner and Marco goes provisional pole position 129.981. The first driver to go into 129s. And he is over 2/10 faster than McCluskey. What a lap by Marco. For McCluskey, probably he won't be able to do that. Probably. But still a very, very good time by Marco to go provisional pole position. Maybe even at the moment it can be pole position with that time. But still, we have less than 5 minutes to go. McCluskey is a quick driver. Pimerada. At least I have the proper... What's proper? I don't see the... Oh, do you have a proper setup now? I didn't see the end of the message. I just saw the pre. Anyways, honestly, to be fair, now if you have a proper setup, then well, it's not looking good on it. I'm gonna be honest. So, yeah. Is there anyone on a lap? I mean, Womax is on a lap. He's down in his time by 27,000. Tig is on his time, but he's just started it as well, I believe. Or not, did he finish his time? Yes, he did finish his time. It's 130.697. Ollie joins the grid. The almost race winner, but a podium sitter in Division 1 Las Vegas. Very good performance by Ollie. Okay, if you have made a couple of mistakes, that's fine. Then that's you know that there is time to improve. I used to having a lot more grip. I mean, I'm not blaming you. If you had that much grip through the corners, then I'm honestly not blaming you. Womax goes wide into turn 14 and 15, and that's pretty much lap ruined for him. And he realizes that, and he goes into the pits. Martin has started his time. TNRM has as well started his time. Let's look at his first sector. He's improving his first sector by 1.5 tenths, but a drift on the exit out of turn 9. And unfortunately, that is going to lose him a bit of time. Hopefully, he's still going to be up on his time, though. His best time is on the softs. Second sector, is he up on his time? Yes, he is. But he did lose that 10th on his lap. Martin is improving. Yes, he is by 3/10 of a second through the first sector. Second sector, I will still go with Martin, since I'll be able to catch his second sector and then as well catch TNRM's as well lap. Martin hits the wall on the exit of turn 12. He's still up on his time, but he's gonna lose time through this Las Vegas strip. TNRM going into the pits as he invalidated it. Yeah, he invalidated his time. And now, less than 2 minutes to go in qualifying. We will be looking at many drivers coming out of the pits to set their final flying laps. Martin just about, just about managing to not get any traffic on his lap. And he's going to finish his time, a valid time. And Martin, he jumps up into P13, 31.7337. A decent time from Martin as well. And now everyone is going to be starting their own times. Everyone besides TNRM and Martin and Jamero, since he's still in the pits. Tom has started his time, so let's look at it with Tom. Tig as well, out from qualifying. So he's going to be as well done in minimum P7. There's plenty of traffic on the Las Vegas Strip, but we will looking at Tom's first sector. Is he up on his time? Yes, he is, but just up on his time. 5,000 up on his time. Into turn 7, 8, and then into number 9. Let's just go with Tom throughout his whole lap. Still has plenty of ERS. He's saving that ERS for that final sector, which is crucial as well. That final sector is crucial with your ERS. Into turn 12. Doesn't cut that curb on the inside. Tom, is he up on his time? Yes, he is by 2.5 tenths up on his time. At the moment, that would be him in P12 still, but he still has this third sector. And if he's going to be lucky, then he might get a slight bit of slipstream from that McLaren. No, he won't get. He's letting him through. That McLaren. Womack is done. Jamera is done. Shaz as well. No time at the moment. But he's on his lap at the moment. Tsunami, Tig, and TNRM as well done with their times. As well, Ollie. Tom, is he going to be able to improve on his time? Yes, he is. And he does go faster on his lap massively and faster than his teammate Niklas. Niklas through the finish line is going to come, and it doesn't look like he's going to improve on his time. And he doesn't improve on his time. He did gain time through this third sector, but he didn't gain any sort of time. Stays in P9. Hudson as well doesn't improve on his time. So that identical time is going to stay between these two. Then Steps. What's his time going to be? Through the finish line, and he's going P14 in front of his own teammate. 31.358. Is that Pimrada on a flying note? That was Ruggy who goes P2. 130.199, and he goes 2,000s up on his time. And what is going on with Lossie? And is that Marco? No, that isn't Marco. McCluskey, he's going fastest. He goes a massive amount of tow from the Mercedes in front. That was Nathan. And as well Dragon. And he's going provisional pole position. And Marco doesn't improve on his time. Pimrada doesn't improve on his time either. Rob won't improve on his time either as well. And Ibrahim does improve on his time. Yes, he does improve on his time. But somehow it is McCluskey on pole position. That mighty slipstream that he got from Marco's teammate and Dragon was enough for him to get pole position. He was 1.5 tenths down his time through the second sector, but he must have gotten massive slipstream through that third sector, and he still had plenty of time to gain to Marco. And this means that McCluskey is on pole position. Marco in P2, Rocky P3 as well, and Pimrada in P4. But this game is slow, so it didn't show the fucking results. Anyways, we'll see the results in the formation lap. And yeah, there we go. It's not raining, at least, compared to D1. It's not raining, so it's fine for now. For now, it's fine. Strategy-wise, it's gonna be a bit different, but it's probably gonna be only like medium hard or hard mediums. Maybe someone could go softs in the beginning, but highly doubt it. Highly doubt that anyone is gonna go softs in the beginning. Maybe if someone is gonna go, maybe like one. Doubt there's gonna be two. But yeah. see on the formation lap what the tires are chosen from the drivers, and also the fucking results as well. Where's even Ibrahim? Because I don't know where did he even go up. Pole position. That would have been crazy. Okay, there we go. And like I said, McLaughlin in P1, Ibrahim P5. He's gotten himself up there. Somehow up as a P5. Fair play to him. Tires. What other tires for everyone? No one on the softs. Almost everyone on the mediums besides Tsunami and Roggy trying to do the opposite strategy. So Roggy and Tsunami on the hards. Rest, like I said, are on the mediums. And yeah, pretty straightforward in here. Ibrahim 5th, TNRM 6th, Shaz and Robin P7 and 8, Tick P9, Tom rounds out the top 10, and it's Niklas Hudson in P12 only. Tsunami 13, Dragon 14, Martin 15, Steps 16, Nathan 17, Womax 19, and then Jameiro is even in AI. Yes, he is in AI, by the way. I need to. Yes, he's in AI. Ollie last, but he is not in AI. He didn't do any qualifying, so he is last. So yeah, strategy-wise, not gonna be interesting whatsoever. It's the classic medium hards or hard mediums. Easy as that. Always. And yeah, TNRM in front, just chilling. Bing chilling in front. And massive gap to McCloskey there. Probably what he would want, but it's the formation lap only. He's probably gonna get taken out on lap 1. I'm predicting that probably. That's what is gonna happen. I'm not saying that I want him to happen to him. Shaz gets disqualified even though he oh, Shaz. But yeah, I mean, I'm not praying for TNRM to get disqualified. Not praying for him to get crashed out, but it's probably what is going to happen to him on lap 1, or maybe on the race. Okay, let's change the bet to lap 2. He's probably going to retire. Or something like that. Anyways, drivers are going into the grid slots now. Some are DSQing since they missed their grid slots. And now we go into the 5 red lights. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's gonna be lights out. Now, and we go here in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Lassie yet again gets a very good start, and this time keeps his lead alive. Roggy didn't get a good start on those mediums. He's already getting overtaken by Pimarada, and he might get overtaken as well by TNRM and Ibrahim. Yes, he does get overtaken by them too. TNRM is fighting Ibrahim. Ibrahim up to P4. TNRM only P5 as of right now, but he's gonna maybe try and go for it. Meanwhile, in the meantime, Pimarada is trying to go for it. Aranyat side of Marco into turn 4. He's still there. Aranyat side on the inside now. He's trying to go up the inside, but Pimarada has to stay in P3 as of right now. He is again trying to play to his countryman's hands. The gap is yet again up into 9/10, so it's very good for Marco. Meanwhile, behind, Tsunami losing places. Tsunami and Niklas, there must have been a contact between them. They're 1.8 seconds behind Womax. So they are in a small ditch. Not a massive ditch, but a small ditch at the moment. Meanwhile, we're going into the Las Vegas Strip. And is Pimarada gonna go for it on Marco into turn number 14? No, he won't. He has not enough ERS to go for it, although he does send a late one. Contact between Marco and Pimarada, that loses them time to McCloskey. That is ideal for McCloskey as well. That was a hit from Marco on the wall, probably not fronting damage since the contact wasn't big enough. But Ibrahim is going into P2. He's trying to go for it for P2 on the inside of Marco, and he is going to be in front of Marco? Yes, he is going to be in front of Marco. Pimerota as well trying to fight back. TNRM, since he's fighting with him, he's trying to get that P4 TNRM. But yeah, a bit of contact between them. And TNRM are on the inside, Pimerota on the outside. Doesn't want to send it, but he is going for the switcheroo. But unfortunately, can't make it happen. But this is again what Lossie needed. Pimerota is doing yet again God's work for McCluskey, but TNRM loses it on the exit of turn number 9, and TNRM drops down from P4 down to P9, it seems. Yes, he down to P9. Okay, he didn't retire, but he did spin. Yeah, he did spin, so he's down to P9. As of right now, Oli up to P13 from P20. He is doing amazing as well. Tsunami going into the wall and causing a VSC. He's gone straight on into the outside wall of turn 12, breaking his whole front wing. Interestingly. Anyways, he's down to P20. No front wing. He's probably going to retire in the pits. Probably. Yeah, the VSC not really playing into McCluskey's hands, and the VSC has been disabled very quickly. Marco almost has the DRS on McCluskey. McCluskey has no ERS compared to Marco, who has still some sort of ERS left. Tsunami, is he gonna retire in the pits? He does go slow into the pits, so at least not that. But Marco almost has the DRS on McCluskey. 1 second between them. Bit sliding into there. Maybe that was a track limit there as well from Marco. The gap is 1.1 seconds still. Still the same. It's close. It's gaining though. Marco gets that 1 second on McCluskey, but now on the exit of turn 12, Marco has less ERS than Marco. McCluskey has used a bit of his ERS. The DRS detection zone is coming up, but Marco is gonna get that DRS. So Marco back into that DRS. Pimerota's plan failed at the moment, but he still can gain on Marco, and he still can cause something. Meanwhile, behind, Druggy in front of Shaz. Oli as well up to P10, overtaking Tom on the straight. So lap 3, Oli already up to P10. Lovely stuff by Oli at the moment. Pimerota fastest lap 32.955. Oli fastest lap though. Reed Zagsnaz fastest lap 32.839. Martin goes into the pits, interestingly. I didn't see him causing any front wing damage or anything. Tom and Dragon are fighting in the meantime down the order. They all three have the DRS. Dragon on the inside, but he has to defend from Hudson behind. And these three stay in the same positions that they were as of right now. Marco has got up massively to McCluskey. Marco has lots of pace at the moment. Meanwhile, behind Nathan. Nathan's lost it yet again on the exit of turn 8. Does he have fronting damage? Doesn't seem like he has any fronting damage, so he's fine at the moment. In front though, McCluskey. No DRS. Marco is probably going to overtake McCluskey on this main straight with the DRS. And no, actually Pimerota is overtaking him. Marco doesn't want to overtake McCluskey. Interesting move by Marco. Maybe he got as well squeezed by Pimerota going through the chicane. He's still in front of Pimerota, even though Pimerota was side by side with him and technically in front of him going through the chicane. Behind though, Dragon and Hudson have lost significant amount of time to Tom. They're already 1.4 seconds behind him, and with their fighting they have lost a bit of time, it seems. If it was fighting, of course. Marco though, is he gonna go for the attack on McCluskey? Probably can't, since he's gonna get boxed by Pimerota trying to go for the overtake. And Primrada on the inside. Here as well, Marco gets hit from behind by Ibrahim. And he gets overtaken by Tig and Roggy. This is a bad situation that Marco is in. Roggy on the outside. Is he going to be able to make it? There's contact between Marco and Roggy. And Marco drops down even more places. He's down to P8 and he's down. He's in front of his savior. Lost. Well, lost. It's not even lost. Last race that he did in BP, and that was in Division 1 in Friday. He's in front of his savior, his championship savior. And yeah, it's not looking good for Marco at all whatsoever. Ibrahim in front of Primrada, but Primrada is trying to get back at him. No, he's not even close to get back at him. Roggy overtaking Shaz. On the inside, he is making that successful. Oli in for Marco. This is important as well. Marco, this is not what his plan was. He got hit by Ibrahim, and then after that, it just went worse and worse. He got Roggy was side by side with him through turn 7 and 8, and then, well, went wide, and yeah, now he goes overtaken by Oli, so not a good position for Marco whatsoever. It doesn't seem like he has any fronting damage at the moment. Ibrahim gets overtaken by both Primrada and Tig. Yellows behind, that is Marco's teammate Nathan, yet again spinning. Nathan just cannot seem to be finding a good balance to the rear. Primrada doing God's work for McCloskey. Tig in P3 as well. Very good job from him. Starting P9. He's already up to P3. Primrada is going to have the DRS. It seems like he's going to have that. Nathan yet again spinning. Oli already up into P7. Has already overtaken Rob, although Rob is going to re-overtake him. I mean, Oli is doing fantastic at the moment. In front though, Primrada. Will he have the DRS? Yes, he will have. But Tig, is he going to try and overtake him into the chicane? No, he's too far back. He's too far back for the overtake. Rob and, well, Shaz, it seems like. They're side by side. And now Rob and Oli side by side on the exit. Just about giving each other space. Marco is trying to overtake both of them on the straight, going into the finish line. And Marco is in just about in front of Rob. He's going to send it down inside. And it seems like he is in front of Rob. Going through turn 1 and 2. Marco is in front of Rob. Still behind Oli though. Which isn't ideal. Although it's not about the performance. It's still about the positions. Because of course you would like to be in front of the car in front. Of course. That's racing. You would of course want to be P1, but that's not always happening. Tig is in front of Primrada. He did overtake him on the exit of turn 9. So Tig doing a very good overtake, but Primrada is right behind him. Yellow's sector 3. That's yet again Nathan. Primrada tried to sort of go for the attack on Tig. Tig, is he gonna lose that DRS on Lossy? Doesn't seem like it. Ian Orem is losing plenty of places as he has spun. He has spun on the exit of turn 12. And he's down in P15. Meanwhile, in front, Tig and Primrada side by side. Both of them have the DRS. And Tig, it seemed like he's going to overshoot the corner. He doesn't overshoot the corner, though. Primrada a bit of oversteer on the exit. And Primrada is in front of Tig. McCloskey goes early on into the pits. Very early into the pits. Lap 7 into the pits. Very early. And into turn 1 we have a 3 wide. 2 Aston Martins. 1 Ferrari. And a Mercedes as well exiting the pits. That is Nathan, who retired in the pits, is getting himself mixed in here. Roggy is leading the Grand Prix on the hards. But I'm just a little bit confused by Lossy's strategy at the moment. Ibrahim and Shaz as well gone into the pits. I mean, that is very early for the pits from the mediums. That is very early. They are of course playing for that massive undercut that hopefully they can get on the cars in front with them fighting a lot. If they will be fighting a lot, then they will gain massive amount of time. Pimrada trying to go for it on the inside yet again on Tig. But now, on the exit of turn 12, it seems like he has a bit more ERS actually. Pimrada has less. And now side by side on the Las Vegas Strip once again. The same way like they did last lap. Pimrada is just about enough in front. But Tig just has better straight line speed. And Tig is going to be in front of Pimrada going into turn 14, 15 and 16. Pimrada just cannot get himself in front of Tig. Tig is going into the pits. The same with Pimrada. But Pimrada has to stay behind Tig. Ollie runs in the back of Pimrada, but hopefully that didn't do much. Meanwhile, behind the yellows, is that TNRM? It seems like it is, but Lassie has lost a position on Ibrahim, which isn't of course ideal. And McCluskey, yeah, TNRM probably is going to retire now. McCluskey is going to be just about in front of Tig. Actually, no, he's not going to be in front of Tig. He's going to be right behind Tig. Ibrahim takes the next race lead out of nowhere. Tig has no DRS and ERS as well, so he's a bit fucked in here, unfortunately. And he lost the rear into turn 4. Holy Jesus, he lost the rear into turn 4. But he did manage to keep it planted. And yeah, McCluskey's still in there. Well, yeah, he's still in there in that train. Marco still hasn't pitted, although Martin on the exit of turn 4 hits the wall, and that is a safety car for that incident that happened with Martin crashing out in turn 4, and this could be beneficiary for Marco. Rogge, I mean he has to pit. He has to pit. He unfortunately has to pit from those hards. And yeah, let's see where these drivers are gonna exit. The cars in front have pitted already. The question is, where are they gonna rejoin? They should be in front. They are gonna be in front. Although Rogge could be in front, could take the race lead. Marco could be in front of all of these, and yes, he is. He's in front of. He's in P2. He stayed in P2. That's the strategy to stay out that one more lap has paid off to Marco, and in a change of events, all of a sudden, Lassie, who was in P1, now he is in P5. Marco, who was like in P7, now he's up into P5. So the tables have turned. By the way, TNRM has retired. So okay, I predicted it a bit too early. He was going for a long time. But yeah, Marco, at the moment, the tables have turned around for Marco and Lassie. Lap 7, Lassie was the leader of the race. Marco was down in P8, P7. Now, tables have turned around. Marco in P2, Lassie P5. Rogge is in the race lead. He has the mediums, but the tire wear is almost non-existent probably on this track. I mean, of course, the rears are getting a bit of that shooting, but of that wear, but it's not like it's massive. 14 laps on the mediums is bearable. It can be done. I mean, to be fair, it is easily done. It's just about the pace. He's gonna lose a bit of pace in the end of the Grand Prix, but even though he had to pit from the hards, he's looking at the moment in a very good position. He's in the lead of the Grand Prix on the mediums, so on the better tires at least as of right now. I mean, he is in a good position at the moment. The same with Marco. I mean, the race has turned on its head a little bit. Hudson as well has gained a position on Dragon. Rob as well has gained few positions. Most importantly as well, Ruggy and Marco, they are up into P1 and P2. So yeah, I mean, that safety car caused by Martin retiring in turn 4 has caused all of a sudden the tables to be turned. There's still Jameiro who needs to catch up, but he's still in that ghost, and that ghost is going very, very slow. I mean, how slow can you go? Got him. At this pace, the safety car might stay out one more lap, which is gonna beneficiate Ruggy. One lap more under the safety car equals less, well, the tires being worked less, basically less tire wear. What I'm trying to say. So yeah, I mean, if he gets that one more lap, then he's gonna be fine. But 17 seconds. It is gonna be close. Of course, on the straight, that AI is gonna catch up a lot. But it's gonna be close. It is gonna be close between Jameiro and catching up to the field. But it might be too late now. 8 seconds. I think it's gonna be too late. Yeah, it is too late. It is too late. So one more extra lap under the safety car helps out Ruggy very nicely. Like I said, one more lap under the safety car equals less tire wear to the end of the race. So he can use them mediums a lot better, and his tires are going to be as well staying alive a lot longer. Well, a lot longer. They're going to be still the same length. It's just that the length of the race is kinda shortened. Or shortened in full race pace. What I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I mean, Ruggy is in a great position at the moment. Same with Marco, Ibrahim as well, Tig, Lassie. Not really, compared to the fact that he was in P1, but it is what it is. Rob in a good position from where he was originally. Ollie as well in a good position from the fact that he started in P20 and he's up as a P9 at the moment, so very good for him. And yeah, at the moment it's looking nice. No one has penalties as well, which is surprising. I mean, on this track it's sort of hard to get penalties. I mean, the only place where you can get penalties is that turn 12 in the background, and then turn 8 and 9. Which are like I said, the only places where you can actually get penalties or warnings. But yeah, now safety car is in this lap. We're gonna be back a racing. The pack is gonna be tightening into that turn 14. Let's go with Ruggy on the POV. Weaving to try and get some temp into the tires. That ain't gonna work, unfortunately. Ruggy, where is he gonna go? And when is he gonna go? Still not going. Now he's going. Now he's pulled the trigger. So we're back in racing. Not yet green flag racing. That is gonna happen now. We're green flag racing back in Las Vegas Grand Prix. Ruggy is leading the Grand Prix as of right now. Meanwhile, behind Shaz has already overtaken Pimarada, who's dropping down places. He got ghosted. Somehow he's lost the position to Ollie. He's of course gonna be now trying to use that ghosting to his advantage to get that position back on Ollie into turn number 4. Still on the inside of Ollie. It might not last that inside, although he's now in front of Ollie. Just about. I mean, is he gonna be in front? I mean, it's they are inside of each other. Ollie is now in front, but they're literally inside of each other. This is different type of car sex that we saw between Nathan and Tig. Seems like Pimarada is gonna be finally in front of Ollie on track as well, so no going through Ollie. Pimarada in P8. In front though, Marco has to watch that gap. Marco is catching a lot to Ruggy. Ruggy has the same amount of ERS as Marco. Meanwhile behind, who was that? Ollie has overtaken Pimarada on the straight, so eventually Pimarada did get overtaken by Ollie. Ollie still has a lot more ERS than Pimarada as well. The DRS has been enabled, and so not as much happens on the restart. Couple of cars have gained one position. There's Tsunami gaining a position on steps through turn 1 and 2. Marco has the DRS on Ruggy, so he won't be able to get overtaken by Ibrahim. Meanwhile behind one of the V-Corps, that's Rob overtaking Lassie. This is very bad news for Lassie. Lassie needs every single position that he can gain, but at the moment he's not gaining any places. He's losing places at the moment. Down to P6. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for Lassie at the moment. The gap from 4 points, it is looking to go up to 14 points. Depends on the... Yeah, 14 points, since Lassie will get 8 points from P6 and Marco will get 18 points as of right now, but the race is still long. Tig is gonna overtake Ibrahim, and in front Marco is gonna take the lead of the Grand Prix here in Las Vegas. Is gonna be crucial to win this Grand Prix at the moment, as Lassie is down in P6 to maximize your championship lead going into Australia as of all places for the finale. Yeah, it is what it is. I like Australia. Others drivers might not. Rob, new fast lap 32.628 by the V-Carb. Ruggy, his mediums are still going to be very good. They are still very fresh. So he will be able to use them mediums very nicely still. They're still going to have the pace advantage over the hards at this stage of the race. So we should expect Ruggy still to be very, very close behind Marco through this second sector. Through this twisty bit, where you actually need that downforce. But that downforce only lasts through his corners. Tig, it seems like he's running into the back of Ruggy. Ruggy, well, went wide. I don't know, did Tig hit Ruggy, but Ruggy went wide and Tig almost overtook Tig. Tig almost overtook Tig. Tig almost overtook Ruggy. Ruggy now is going to have the DRS though on Marco, unless Marco is going to run away with the DRS. But no, he's not going to run away. He has still the DRS. But Tig is using his ERS though to overtake Ruggy. And is that overtake going to be complete? It seems like it is going to be. Ruggy doesn't even want to defend that whatsoever. Just lets Tig into P2. Tig is up to P2, like I said. Just let through by Ruggy, it seems. Tig though has a low amount of ERS now, which isn't really ideal. Pimarada, new fast lap 32.328. but he's still in P8, and just now probably overtaken Shaz or defending from Shaz. Either way, he is a bit down the order. Ollie though behind Lossie. Lossie just isn't able to overtake Rob at the moment. He's just not overtaking him. And he might have to watch out for his rear more at the moment. Tsunami though into turn 4. He has gone into the wall yet again. He's staying into that wall. Kind of trying to cause a safety car, but at the moment nothing has happened. The only thing that has happened is his half of his front wing is gone, and that's his race ruined unless there's going to be yet another safety car, either caused by him or something else. 3-second time penalty for Tsunami. Ollie has overtaken Lossie on the main straight. We are not even in that DRS territory yet. Tig, is he going to try and go for it on Marco? It seems like he is going for it. No, he doesn't want to go for it. In the meantime, Ibrahim did overtake Rocky. And as well, McCloskey did overtake Pimroda. And that is a virtual safety car. All of a sudden. Steps did lose a little bit of time, but no front wing damage for him. But a VSC has been deployed. All of a sudden. No drivers are going into the pits that are in this DRS train. Thankfully. Of course, Tsunami is going to go into the pits. Ah, there we go. He has completely destroyed his front wing. And he's really going to retire in the pits now since he didn't get his safety car. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's still... the safety car can still happen, so it's not like it's France or Portimao where the walls are far away from everywhere. The VSC has ended now, so we're back at racing. This VSC didn't seem to help Marco whatsoever in terms of the gap behind him. The ERS, yes, but pretty much everyone now has a similar amount of ERS. Everyone in 80% of ERS. So still, it didn't help Marco that much. Tig right behind Marco, but the DRS section zone is only now. Now he can fully deploy his ERS, but he doesn't even need to deploy that ERS, since with that DRS he's gonna easily overtake him. Is Ibrahim gonna go for it on Marco? He has a DRS, but he does want to go for it. Staying behind Marco. Tig is trying to win here in Las Vegas. He's trying to get that P3 in the Drivers' Championship, to be in front of Steps and Dragon. Both of them are having an absolute nightmare of a race. Both of them. At the moment, he is in the lead of the Grand Prix himself, so that would pretty much seal the deal for the P3 in the Drivers' Championship. But there's still 7 laps to go. Marco, he doesn't need to rush. He doesn't need to rush. He doesn't need to take any sort of risks. Rob is taking the risk as Ollie runs into the back of Rob and Roggy, and Ollie loses a place to Pimeralda. Rob in front of Roggy. Roggy seems to be struggling a bit with everything at the moment. He's just losing places, and Pimeralda spun! Pimeralda spun on the exit of turn 9, fronting damage to him as well. The two Aston Martins side by side in turn 9, and maybe there was contact between them, but the thing that we know is Pimeralda is out of contention for the podium and for anything at the moment. Marco going for the move on Tig, but Ibrahim as well is hungry for that move. But does he want to go in front of Marco? No, he doesn't. He's still staying behind Marco, but he gets a 3-second time penalty. Ibrahim, the first one to get a 3-second time penalty from these from the top of the drivers at the moment in this massive DRS train that is going down to Dragon, who just about has that 1 second. But Ibrahim pretty much is out of contention for a good result in here, since pretty much half the grid is within this DRS. Tig, of course, will sort of want to go for it. Ibrahim doesn't even need to worry about anything. He can just go full on red, on red 15, and well, just say on red and just pray and hope that, I don't know, something behind is gonna happen and he's gonna gain a few places. Tsunami, new fast lap 32.033, so he's done something at least, and not retired in the pits, and pretty much that will be the fastest lap till the end of the Grand Prix probably. Ibrahim has the DRS on Marco. He's probably gonna try and overtake him. He pretty much has no choice since he knows that Tig is a bit aggressive. And is he gonna overtake Marco? Yes, he does overtake Marco. Tig though behind. Is he gonna overtake Marco too? No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to overtake Marco. But Marco loses it. Tig runs into the back of Marco. Marco spins. Marco spins. He's down the order. He's bottled it. He's dropped it. Under pretty much almost no pressure for Marco. He has dropped it. He has dropped it through turn 14. Tsunami is trying to cause yet another safety car. What is this man doing? Just retiring the pits, man, for crying out loud, or like that. But still, what did Marco do? I mean, Tig as well kind of helped Marco there in spinning, as Tig is defending off Rob at the moment. These two are going for the net race win since Ibrahim has a 3-second time penalty. But Marco looking up into turn 14 and going slow, that Tig did not expect Marco to lose it. And Marco, who was pretty much, he could have easily been up there finishing in front of Lassi to extend his championship lead to some few points. It seems like Lassi is going to take the championship lead and take the lead to, at the moment, 8 points from Marco to the final race of the season. Tig is going for the race lead of the Grand Prix on track, and Ibrahim stays in P2. Shaz dropping down places, and he's dropping down even behind Dragon, it seems, although Dragon is still, oh no, he has a different setup. Although there's up by side, almost contact there. With the contact model, you never know. Dragon is still in front of Shaz. He's closing the door, and Dragon is in front of Shaz. So Shaz has lost plenty of places there as well. Lassi losing a place to Ollie. But at the end, he doesn't need to risk it. He doesn't need to risk it that too much. Of course, he would want to gain points on Marco, but he needs to remember that Ibrahim has a 3-second time penalty, so he doesn't need to risk it there as well, as Ollie is trying to go for it on Rob through turn 7 and 8 and 9, and it seems like it has worked for him. Ollie is up to P3, Rob down to P4, Lassi on track is still in P4, he's in P5, but after penalties it's going to be P4 for McLussie. Lassi, like I've said, he doesn't need to risk it too much. He just needs to keep himself in a high position and just finish there. In P5 at the moment, it's perfecto. It is perfecto at the moment for Lassi. Well, not really perfecto, but anyways, Ibrahim does go for the overtake on Tig. Ollie doesn't go for the overtake there. Rob neither on Ollie. Lassi was too far back anyways to even try to go for the overtake on Rob. In the meantime, Tig and Ibrahim go side by side through the final corner. Ibrahim is in front. Meanwhile, behind, Ollie is trying to do he's trying to do from last to first, and at the moment, after penalties, he is in P2. Lassi is struggling, it seems. He's struggling with his rear at the moment. He's not feeling happy whatsoever on this track. He's not feeling well in here. He still has a DRS, but he's not feeling fine in here. He's not feeling well whatsoever. like I said, he just needs to keep this P5 at the moment, just not bottle it. Just don't bottle it like Marco, and you're gonna be the championship leader going into the finale to Australia, the upside down country. At the moment, for the lead is Tig in the lead. Ibrahim in P2, Ollie in P3, but like I've been saying many times, Ibrahim still has a 3-second time penalty. And Ollie is trying to do the last to first at the moment here in Las Vegas. He almost got the win in a realistic Haas here in Friday. Meanwhile, behind, Rob is trying to go for it. He is going for it for P3 on Ollie, and he does successfully go for it. Ibrahim as well overtakes Tig through into turn 14, 15, 16. So he's up to P1. Rob is up to P3. Meanwhile, behind, Hudson is in front of Rocky, although Rocky is fighting back. They're going side by side. Little bit of contact between them. And it is Rocky in front of Hudson, but there's contact between them. And Hudson might lose a place to Shaz. No, he doesn't. Meanwhile, in front, Lossie is overtaking Rob on the outside, and even Ollie, he's going for it for P3 and doesn't make it. Almost goes into the back of Ibrahim. A big hit into the wall. He is now ghosted, but it doesn't matter. He's up into P3, and after penalties, he's up into P2. This is massive for the championship contender. Marco still in P12. I mean, he's there with Pimeralda, 4 seconds behind Shaz. With 3 laps to go, it's gonna be impossible for him almost to catch up to Shaz and try and salvage some points through turn 12. It didn't seem well for Lossie. Ollie might go for the overtake. Ollie has plenty of ERS, 60%, so Ollie's only, well, almost less than 10. Shaz is going for the overtake on Hudson. Ibrahim going for the overtake on Tig. Is Lossie going to go for the overtake on Tig? Doesn't seem like it. Ollie behind. Doesn't seem like it as well on Lossie. So the cars behind are staying as well the same. Ibrahim is still fighting with Tig a lot in here. Ollie looking behind. He has plenty of ERS though, so he can attack whenever he wants. Ibrahim is still in front. Rob behind. Oh, the two Alpines going a bit sideways. Rob as well going into the wall a bit. Tom loses a place to Niklas as a result of a bit of oversteer going into turn 1. But only to his teammate, thankfully. Tig and Ibrahim going side by side into turn 4. Ollie loses. Ollie is ghosted through turn 4. Marco 3 seconds, so that's pretty much buries his chances of getting points. Ollie is still in front of Rob, but behind Ollie is Massimo Chaos, and Lossie goes into the wall a bit hard and loses a place to Ollie. This is not what he wanted. He was getting P3 on track, but now he's getting P4 on track. Behind there's plenty of cars. There's so many cars behind. Meanwhile, in front, Jameiro could give. He is gonna give the DRS to Ibrahim. So it's not gonna be so easy overtake for Tig or anyone behind on Ibrahim. What is going on? It's going to be 4 wide going into turn number 14. It's almost 5 wide going into turn 14. It's Ibrahim in front. Lossie still there. They're locked wheels, locked cars. Lossie drops down to P5. Tig in P3. Rob P4. Ollie at the moment on track going into the final lap of the race. He's in P2 and he could go for the last to first. Lossie still in P5. Beside him he has no one, so at the moment he's going for that P4. Rocky losing places, a lot of them, but he's still in P9. Lossie just needs to get in front of Tig or Rob so that every single point is gonna count for the championship. But at the moment Tig behind the Rock, some sort of contact. There's carbon fiber on track. That might be Rocky's carbon fiber. It's hard to tell. Is it? I don't know. going into the top of the field. Oli is right behind Ibrahim. Oli, I remind, this bloke started from P20. Ibrahim has a 3-second time penalty, but he will want that win on track. Ibrahim still has less ERS. Oli is going to deploy all of his ERS. Now he knows that he has a DRS, and he is going to deploy the DRS, and he's taking the race lead on the final lap of the Grand Prix into turn 14. Just don't bottle it in here, and Oli is going to be taking the race win that he wanted to take in Division 1 on Friday. He is going to take the win, completes the last to first here in Las Vegas. Oli wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Tig finishes in P2, Rob P3, Lassi importantly finishes in P4 and takes the championship lead over Marco, gets 12 points, and so Lassi is gonna lead the championship. With these results, he's gonna lead the championship by 8 points going into Australia. Tom in P5 as well, very good for him. But Oli, it's not even a question who is the driver of the day. The game is gonna even agree. Driver of the day is Oli. Oli, fantastic race from P20 up into P bloody 1 in Las Vegas. Lost to first, completed for the Haas driver from UK. What a race for him, and as well most points as well for him. But yeah, Lassi 20 points as well from here, so not bad for Lassi either. Marco only 7 points, so 5 points between them before the race. So yeah, it's kind of easy to tell that it's going to be 8 points going into Australia in Lassi's hands. It is in Lassi's favour. For the race results, Hudson P6, Ibrahim P7 after his unlucky 3 seconds, Ruggy P8, Pimrada P9, Shaz runs at the top 10, and then Dragon. Marco, it's just sad to see Marco down. He could have gone for the race win if everything would have gone perfectly for him, but unfortunately he binned it. As well, there is a certain Ferrari that has helped him. Then it's Steps, Niklas, Womax, Jameiro, and then DNFs are Tsunami, TNRM, Martin, and Nathan. What a race always, as Las Vegas brings us to. This time, the championship was not decided, and it's going to be decided in Australia. Oli, of course, driver of the day. What a win from him. From P20 to P1, lost the first, completed. 10 out of 10 performance for him. Nothing that you can really say bad to him. What a way to finish off this race for him. Missing the sprint and missing most of the quali. Did not set a time and started P20. Lap 3 already in top 10 or close to top 10. And then he stayed around that P9, P8 territory. And then the final safety car gave him that race win as well. A bit of... there's a bit of collisions between Lassi, it seems, and then some other drivers that I don't know. But I all remember is Lassi. But yeah, as I mentioned, Lassi taking the championship lead going into Australia, the final race of the season. Yeah, very well done for Lassi, and of course Oli. I mean, what's a race for Oli? I mean, you cannot even stop talking about that, because it's just, I mean, last to first, they don't happen almost any time. And yeah, like I said, the finale of the season is gonna happen in Australia. Let's see if I'm gonna commentate that. Let's see. But yeah. Yeah, let's see if I'm gonna commentate that. But anyways, I'm going into Australia. Lassie is gonna lead the championship by 8 points, unless there's gonna be some sort of a report going on to Lassie, or maybe someone else. Ibrahim gonna get his 3-second time penalty off. Someone else maybe in front gets a 3-second time penalty, or bigger penalty, and he actually moves up a position. Who knows? But all I know is that next week is gonna be Australia. And yeah, that's it. I don't even know if I'm going to be commentating that race. So yeah, see you next week. Either me or Reggie or someone else commentating that. So see you next week in Australia. Ciao.